Welcome back to the show, guys. Today, as you can tell with the shaky camera, we're at a golf course trying something a bit different. Today, I have one of my very good mates from Loughborough University and a startup founder here in the UAE. His startup is rallysports.ae,
Correct.
which is a community-based sports or events booking platform.
Correct.
So to say?
Yeah, we're essentially a sports app that allows you to discover communities and book them within 2 clicks. So let's say, Sachin, you want to go play a golf game today, right? You don't know who to play with. You don't know what's happening in the UAE. You'll be able to essentially, go through our app, see all the events that are happening, whether it's badminton, football, cricket, table tennis, whatever it is, see the community that fits you the best and essentially join in a few clicks.
Damn.
Simple as.
That's such a very good concept, especially in a place like Dubai.
Yeah.
And with that though, I know we were Loughborough, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us, our cohorts, went straight into the corporate world.
Correct.
What made you go straight into the entrepreneurship route, and why did you do that?
Oof, it's actually a pretty heavy loaded question, to be honest. And
That's what we do
definitely
here.
No, Sachin, honestly, a lot of it comes down to purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everything essentially stems from. It was my dad's goal as well, for us to essentially, for both me and my brother to go down the corporate route, work 2 years and do whatever we want after that, right? Because that's what my dad did. That's what my family's done. And, that's what we as Indians are always told to do, work first, everything else will come later. But no, I just never saw value in that because, a lot of people say, oh yeah, you need to work a corporate job to build your credentials. No, why can't you do that in a startup? My credentials right now is who my team is. And my team is filled, with advisors, a CTO that, that have backing from like the biggest banks in the UAE, Rack Bank, ENBD, you name it, EIB, all of that, right? And my CTO who's, headed IBM in multiple countries and is now in India and running like 4 startups of his, right? So for me, it's like, if I have the backing of those guys who have seen the world, right, and believe in my idea, then, I don't need those credentials. And it all started with me talking to them, having conversations with them. And once I felt like they understood my idea and saw value in it and wanted to come on board, I was like, yeah, these are my credentials. I got the people I wanted. Because I would have built that, going to corporate world, I would have done the same thing, right? I would have worked under someone else, not built my own idea, and essentially just gone around, met people, and 2 years later, I would have seen my idea, someone else doing it.
Okay, so very interesting. You said that your team is so important and they have so much experience, and that propels you to actually think that, okay, this is the best learning ground. Why go to the corporate world and sort of choose over there?
Essentially such, yeah. I'd be doing the same thing, right? And like, as I mentioned before, at the end of the day, we're working on an idea that I believe in rather than something else, which is obviously a dream of mine, right? I want to create the best brand. I've always seen myself in sports through and through. So yeah, there's, no other way to do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I did 2 years, right? 2 years at KPMG. Good, but I feel like I've learned so much through starting the podcast and the business side of things.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual, like, doing corporate. Corporate was good. Don't get me wrong. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. So you can play devil's advocate for me and be like, I've done the corporate route. Do you think it was worth it?
I think given my circumstances, I think it was phenomenal.
Okay.
So my thing was, you go in, but be very selfish.
Yeah.
You want to understand how those companies work and why they're that way. Right?
Okay.
You do that in terms of profitability. How do they make revenue? What's the revenue distribution, the splits, right?
Sure.
Then it's like, okay, the political side of things. There are a lot of political plays. Getting that, understanding that. The corporate space is also very good for soft skills and hard skills.
Sure.
Right? Hard skills and soft skills are something which is like, it's a bonus. It's an added bonus.
Yeah.
But lastly, what not to do when you have your own thing.
Yeah.
And those are the biggest things I went in for. As soon as I thought that, okay, I've completed, I've got what I wanted, let's pop over and figure out what's next. And I basically worked my backside off to figure out what that was going to be. In this case, it's this. It's a podcast. And we're in Dubai.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, we are.
The Burj Khalifa. For all you audio listeners, get video, please. But Dubai skyline, playing golf, recording a pod.
Maybe not the best production, but this is raw.
This is, that's it. I'm just going to keep it raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to take the shot and let's see how this goes. This is going to be captured live, so this better be good. Oh, where am I going? Okay, here we go.
Go on.
Oh.
I think we're just fine.
I think it's just fine. Anyway, I suck. Yeah, so that's why I sort of decided to go down the route of doing my own thing in the podcast. But talk me through your internal dialogue with yourself about how you decided that this was going to be your route.
Yes, I think this is definitely a hard question in that sense, right? Because one side of me is like, okay, let's follow the corporate job. Let's go down that route. Your parents have said so. Something in me was like, okay, I can land, consultancy job in like Big Four. And it's always in the back of my mind, today, like, oh, these are things I could have done. Oh, these are things like I would have wanted to do. But man, I think, in your life, you know what you're cut out for. And that was just not me. I think, one thing that really pushed me over the edge, when I was in the UK and applying for jobs, I actually got a business development role in a pretty good firm. They were about to put me up in Manchester, and it was a decent role, business development, something I'm good at, talking to people, understanding people. And, when it came down, obviously, to the dynamics of it, and they were like, yeah, you'll be paid 40,000 a year. And I was just, working back. And I was like, wow, what is that post-tax? Like 32,000 now?
Or in the UK?
Yeah, or a little
in
less.
and around, like 30, 32.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, close to whatever, 2,500 pounds a month. I was like, really? Not in the rudest way, but I was like, am I worth that? Like, I've been given a life. I've been, touch wood, very lucky. Like, my dad's done a lot for us, put us in the best education, born and raised. And, the best thing about Dubai is you see money all around.
Yeah.
And you see people so motivated, and everywhere you go and every person you talk to is, how can we build? What can we do? What do you do for work? How are you making money? What are your models like? And you learn so much more in an environment here versus when I was in the UK. Because I know a lot of friends who I speak to in the UK right now are like, yeah, man, 9 to 5, come back home, tired, gym. And that's just life for them. They're working for that monetary purpose, right? And obviously, my purpose isn't just monetary, it's to create value. But I was like, that value for me is not just 40,000. It's like, will I be happy in that business development role? Do I want to live a life where I'm surrounded by people trying to make something of themselves? Or do I want to just be sucked in and, not enjoy, like, even though this may be harder, what I'm doing right now, it's doing something I love, and, I'm getting paid nothing for it, but I'd rather be paid nothing to do something I love rather than be paid 40,000 pounds to do something I don't love.
So with that though, do you think the environment in the UAE really influenced that decision? Because you mentioned, right? Like,
yeah, such
people you were around and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's one thing that influenced it is, people I was born and raised with, people I've spent my life with. I think obviously having my dad here is also a massive attraction. Like, it pulled me to Dubai, being like, worst case scenario, like, I know he's by my side, like he's with me. But yeah, man, I think just the mindset of people over here is just so different to people anywhere else in the world.
What do you think is different? So you've been in the UK, right?
Correct.
You've been to the States as well.
Yeah.
What do you think is different here in Dubai?
I think the amount of conversations you have on trying to do something with yourself, and every person, and I've seen people in the UK, and I think a lot of conversations with people you have in the UK is generally over a beer. And obviously I do love it. It's fantastic. But like, I think you really get to know a person, when you're spending quality time with them like this, like you're playing a sport with them. And that's when you truly get to know someone's characteristics and who they are. And, golf's taught me that actually, like you spend 4 hours with someone in a cart and, you can really read through them, see what they're thinking, even how they play the game. I know people who've been like, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, whatever it is. And, they'll come to a golf course and pick up their ball and just throw it, like little things like that. So you can really delve deep into people here. And I think, again, you mentioned like, why is it different, Dubai and UK and US. And like I said, I think everyone's so stuck up in the rut of corporate jobs everywhere we've been. And I think that's a massive thing in the UK. Like, I remember my course was international business. Not once did I speak to anyone who was like, I want to run a startup. I really want to do something of my
Yeah.
own. It was
Yeah,
all
that's
like,
a very good
I want to
point.
become I want to go, work in a top 4 agency, I want to work in this corporate, that corporate. And that's kind of what uni was also kind of pushing on us in some sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like an agenda just being
Correct.
shoved down your
Like
throat.
the perfect life is,
Yeah.
the perfect life is you go to uni, you go to a top uni, and you go into a big 4 or a big agency or a big company, or you work
spend the rest of your life there, retire,
pension. Grow up the ranks, and that's life, and that's finished.
I never thought about that. The fact that we only discussed jobs and not creating jobs of any kind.
It was actually, I was amazed, right? I know the tour, you had just graduated. I had gone to Barbados again, and I was pre-season tour.
Yeah.
And I'd gone again with the team. And, that times were tough. Dad had lost a lot during COVID. I was actually funding myself through a few things I was doing, like a little cricket academy. I actually started Loughborough Recreational Squad as well.
Which is I
getting
remember.
people to the nets, booking the nets for them, making sure people show up, everyone has a good time, and they train just like the AU, right? And yeah, essentially, I just remember telling these guys like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing Loughborough Recreational back in Dubai. I have a little academy where I train little kids," and they were just so amazed, and I was like, "Guys, like, what are you on about?"
Normal. Yeah,
like I got to do something to fend for myself. I needed ways where I could still be in uni and still make that money, and obviously I couldn't work a day job or that. You need to make everything function.
Working at Echoes? No.
Probably.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what happened was bloopers. We broke one of the connections in the microphone.
Pretty much.
Because we were kind of speeding.
Dropped the phone.
And I dropped the phone. So that happened. We had a very, very good conversation.
Very deep conversation.
Did not record. Because I thought I did. It only recorded 2 seconds. I don't know what happened.
No.
But what we were talking about is your upbringing. Something very different.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You grew up small family, nothing crazy, moderate success.
Correct.
All of a sudden took off.
Yeah.
And now you're at a point where back to not square one,
but somewhere around
make your way
I think I'll just summarize it in short. Essentially, my dad moved here, in the 90s. He came here to build a business, and he took that risk, which probably gives me that risk appetite as well in some sense. He built his business from scratch. He built it very quickly and did very well in that era. When I saw other families around me, like slowly building their wealth, we kind of went from here to here, in 2008, 2009 so quickly. And like I said, we're very privileged, right? My dad gave us the freedom to choose what we wanted to do always. And, whether it was, me moving to India, me going to Loughborough, he was like, any uni in the world, whatever you want, go for it. And, even if that meant he had to take loans, my brother went to NYU, which is obviously the most expensive university in the US. So one of the most
in New York.
Yeah.
Not the Abu Dhabi one.
Yeah. And you can imagine that's what, 70,000 tuition plus around 30,000 to stay. Yeah. You can understand how expensive that is, right? And for him, obviously he was going through his struggles, we saw the highs of the highs as well. Obviously he was going through the struggles, but he never let us feel it because we thought we could go anywhere. And he gave us that confidence, like, wherever you want to study, I got you. Even if that meant, like I said, taking loans, breaking his back, working his ass off. That's what he did for us. And I think there's a lot to learn from that as well. And, now we're in a situation where I'm not that fortunate, right? Like me and my dad had a nice villa back in Motor City, had a lot of properties. COVID came through. We had to sell the properties over. We had to sell, our house that I have so many memories over the last 12 years as well. And we're in a nice 2-bedroom house in Barsha right now, right? And I contribute to rent. I contribute to my office space as well. And, like I said, we had this discussion as well. And I was like, initially I felt quite shit about it, being like, shit, I'm running a startup and I already have these responsibilities of, I got to pay rent on time, got to pay my office rent, I got to pay salaries.
Yeah.
And all of that pressure just mounting up on you and me being like, damn, you look around people in Dubai and you're like, Yeah, no one had to do that. They'd be making, I know friends who were making 40,000 dirhams a month, and they wouldn't have to contribute to rent anything. They're just spending that money on things they love doing, experiences, having fun, booze, all of that. And yeah, I kind of took it against my dad initially, being like, damn, like I'm the only one who kind of has to go through this. And it's a bit shit considering, I'm trying to follow my dream and start a startup. But I think just growing up, it's really put life into perspective for me. How I manage my finances, how I manage the people around me, how to navigate yourself through rough times, because he took all that risk so that I could do what I am today. And I want to be in that same position where I can take all that risk right now and build something fantastic that tomorrow my kids can do the same thing, in that sense. And like I said, I think he always dreamt big. He always wanted to do big things. But I'm a bigger dreamer than him. I'm a bigger believer than him. So I think we had a conversation about like what drives us as well. And I was like,
so that was going to be it. Like, what is it? Is it fear of failure that drives you, or the excitement of the unknown that you're sort of going towards and like backing yourself? Like, oh, do you know what, mate? I'm going to do this. And I'm so chuffed because I know it's going to work out.
Yeah, man. I think when I started this business, obviously you're like, shit, I'm starting out a business. I don't know what to do. How am I going to do it? But I think, as we mentioned as well, like, man, you got to back yourself. Like, I realize this is my purpose in life because, I sat down the other day actually with a friend and I was just going through my childhood actually. And I was like, wow, when I was a kid, the moment it was 5 p.m., I used to call all my friends and be like, hey guys, 5 p.m. cricket, make sure you're in the park, bring this, bring that, right? Make sure. And I used to organize that, right? We fast forward, I moved to India for cricket as well, if you didn't know, 14 to 18.
I knew. Because you left here when we were doing the UAE under 16s.
Correct, exactly. I moved there, captain of a team, still gathering people, to play sport. Fast forward, Loughborough, preseason sec, essentially, getting people to Barbados, amalgamating everyone to go there.
It's walk and talk.
But essentially, like, I just realized, like, this is something I've been doing my whole life. And if it's something I've been doing my whole life, I know I'm fucking good at it. It's something I love doing. And it's something like I love getting people together. And what better way than sport, right? Shots there.
Flat. Way too flat. But no, I think during your childhood, you develop these inherent qualities.
Correct.
That later on, you should recognize it as at the age we are now, looking back and analyzing, this is what we were, and here are the qualities we had.
Exactly.
And using it.
And you have to
you have to have a deep level of self-awareness.
Correct.
To do that.
And that takes time. And actually, we'll definitely discuss this through and through. And that comes through failures.
That does.
That comes through breaking down. That comes through shit going loose. And all over the place. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry guys. You'll definitely see us carry this conversation through.
This is going to be, different
points.
This is quite, what do you got there?
I've got an 8.
8. Do I have an 8?
It's definitely something we're testing out. But yeah,
this is new. Yeah, I just thought, I know, it was Akshat's idea of doing this, playing golf. And I feel like...
Yeah, I agree to only meet during sport. I think that's the best way to connect and get deep with someone.
Bro's got sciatica, but sports comes first.
Sports comes first.
Yeah, but we were talking about like this inherent qualities within yourself. And you said it comes from breaking down sometimes and like going through those hardships of self... realizing who you are, self-awareness, all of that.
Yeah.
How did you get into that space of, okay, I need to get my shit together, be self-aware?
If I bring this up, you'll probably resonate with me.
Go for it.
We've been doing it our whole lives. We both try to play professional cricket. Failure was imminent. It's something we saw day in, day out. And, it was a dream we were chasing.
Yeah.
And, those experiences teach you so much. And more than that, sport teaches you so much, right? Talk me through your trials, right? Like, I know when I was in India and I was giving trials for, district and then state, I remember facing 3 balls and being like, damn, they judged me on 3 balls. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just worth 3 balls. And, you go home, you've had a shit day. And, as a kid, you don't know how to deal with failure. You start to question everything.
Yeah.
Am I good enough? Can I do this? Why did I move to India without my parents? Like, was this the right decision? Did I just waste all that time and energy? So yeah, man, I think everyone deals with failure in a different way. But I think, it definitely makes you stronger. It teaches you. I'd rather fail 99 times and have one success rather than go 50-50.
Well, that's what they say, right? Like, often, like, you want to, even if you're right once.
Yeah.
The
That's a deer.
results.
Yeah.
Even if you fail 99 times, that one time
Yeah.
you succeed makes up for the 99.
Correct.
Right?
And you learn a lot more in the 99 to make that one really succeed.
Yeah.
Rather than just have an okayish business or an okayish life.
Mm-hmm. And with failure, though, like, what's your relationship with failure right now, given, let's say, the stakes are so high? Because you mentioned there is no safety net.
Correct.
So how do you view failure as of today?
See, Sach, it's definitely difficult, when you have all these external pressures, pressure from investors, pressure from household, pressure on yourself that I signed up for this. I need to make something out of myself. But like I said, I've grown up with a lot of failures, I used to take so much risk when I was a child as well. Like, I moved to India alone. I was trying to play, obviously, Loughborough, County, all of that as well, right? And back then, I can definitely say when I was younger, I dealt with it very differently, and it'd just be low days of self-doubt and questioning. But I think growing up taught me one thing. I have one rule for myself. Good day, pat on the back. Well done. Let's go tomorrow. Bad day, pat on the back. Let's go.
Interesting.
So, it's not a thing that you sit and constantly dwell on, and you shouldn't dwell on neither success, neither failure. They're both part of life. And again, it's a very generic thing, but it's what you learn from it. And your downtime, when I have a bad day, or like, I've been rejected by 10 VCs in a day for an idea, I sit down and I really think, like, shit, I literally sit down in my bed, thinking like, okay, let me soak in what they've said. And, I could be doing that for 10 days. I could be sad, being like, next day, wake up, oh, my idea is not working. The day after, oh, like, I'm really going to question it. I started this because I believe in the idea, one, and I fucking believe in myself. So for me, it's just like, sure, I've taken in what they have to say. Good. I've learned a lot. Tomorrow we go again.
Learning is one of the biggest blessings I've come across.
Yeah.
In simple terms, and also, I guess, how you perceive criticism and failure, right?
Yeah.
Failing is such an important concept, but also learning from failure and how you view failures really dictate your direction.
And how you deal with them.
How you deal with them.
I'm curious, how do you deal with your failures? Like,
man,
and actually tell me the difference between how you deal with failures in corporate versus now. I think that's actually really interesting because there's not much. Yeah, there's not much on your back when it's in corporate, right? It's just like, okay, failed, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I think the fact in corporate, you are living the rat race, right? And here, I'm not saying that I'll never go back. I might have to, sure.
Yeah.
But what happens in corporate is you're doing work for someone else.
Correct.
So let's say, and I'm not saying for everyone, but like, a lot of people are doing that because it's their bread and butter. That's the only way they're going to do it.
Correct.
Hence, if you want to improve or strive to improve in corporate, you actually don't have a lot of, what do you call it? You don't have a lot of
room to do it.
Not room to... Like, what are you doing it for? Like, what's the purpose of you grinding through decks upon decks upon decks and doing this client stuff and everything's due yesterday versus you just being like, okay, I need to do this now for me, the input-output equation, same thing.
Correct.
That comes back to that, right? Which is why I truly believe in that equation. If for me right now, if I fail right now, I'm like, at least I learned something.
Correct.
The only reason I failed is because something didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because there was a gap. Okay, let's just go back. and figure out what the gap was. If someone tells me what it is, fair enough, and then we move on.
Correct.
Very easy.
Yeah.
But in corporate, it's like you will hear 10 different feedbacks for one single thing, and you're like, well, which one? Because each person prefers it a certain way.
Correct.
So that was kind of, and I was like, what's in it for me in the long run? But right now, it's all for me.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I distinguish between the two. But also a huge thing in failure that works, that I've realized, is your ability to differentiate when you're emotional and when you're rational during that failure process, or like just in general in life.
Yeah.
I am learning as much as I can to be more rational than emotional.
Yeah.
When you have to be emotional, you should be emotional.
Yeah, obviously.
But you don't have to go about, crying after every single, like, let's say your girlfriend did something and you just go, explode.
Yeah.
No, hold up, pull it back.
Exactly.
Let's see what's happening. So we just spoke about learning and failure. Now, from the business side of things, how does it work in terms of when you have to make hard calls? Do you have like a framework that you use to make hard calls? Is it gut, intuition? Maybe it's more data back. Like what happens?
Yeah, Sach. I actually like to make all my decisions based on research and slight intuition, right?
Okay.
Because I think intuition plays a massive role when you're shaping up your business. If something doesn't feel right, even if the numbers are saying so, trust me, there's something wrong. I can guarantee that with my life, right? So a lot of it is backed by the people, right? Like I'll take a case study, for example, with my business, right? Like tomorrow I'm building features. Now you can tell me, oh, like, why aren't you building this? Why aren't you building that, right? I'm not going to build something based on, oh, because Sach told me that he would like this feature. I'm going to go build that feature because he thinks it's right. It takes a lot of research and a lot of analysis being like, okay, Sach plays golf, cricket. He wants this feature. Okay, let me talk to someone who plays football. Let me talk to someone who's 50 years of age. Let me talk to someone who's 20 years of age, right? And that's kind of how you take decisions, especially within a startup. It has to be backed by the people who use it. Always. You see who you're
always user-centric.
Correct.
So you work backwards, essentially.
Always.
Which is always like, even in corporate, it's like customer comes first.
Correct.
The
and
day,
then
right?
I think a lot of it, and what you can't do in corporate is intuition, right? To what extent do you think you can?
Very subjective.
Yeah.
I think the higher up you go,
Correct.
the more freedom. Do you have that autonomy? I guess autonomy is the right word.
Yeah.
That you have to call shots. But the lower you are, intuition doesn't work because you have to get everything referenced or checked, or someone has to have a look before it goes up.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's a fine balance, but you don't have as much free will as you would as a startup founder. Like, for example, the podcast isn't really you can call it a startup, sure.
Yeah.
But like everything that I do it's intuition versus gut. And then that emotion also comes through. It's like your brain says something, your heart says something else.
No, 100%.
But you always know. I find it very difficult to sometimes distinguish between the two, or like know which route to go, especially as a founder.
No, 100%.
No, so what I was saying before that cutoff was, apologies, guys. This is all trial and error in real time.
This is the startup world, guys.
Yeah, like your heart versus your brain. And like sometimes in business, I think it's more your brain.
Yeah, of course.
But your gut does play a part.
Yeah, such. So like,
definitely.
Again, another example is like, I'm trying to move Rally, of course, to India as well, right?
Yeah.
And in my heart, I just know it's the right move.
Okay.
And I really want to move there.
Your heart says that.
Yeah, there's mass there. The future is moving there.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of volume as well, right? But I don't.
What's your brain saying?
My brain says I don't know enough about the market.
So isn't that like an easy fix though? Like just market research. Like
I do market research. So what? Such tomorrow, let's say I did all the research in the world.
Yeah.
Can I come to Canada and start this and know it'll work without any network, knowing no one? Just starting from scratch. I'm still saying Delhi, I still know people, but Bangalore and Bombay are the hubs of sports in India. Now, do I know those many people in Bombay? Do I know how people engage with sports? Culturally, what do they do? I know in the UK, we go for nuts, you go drink a beer.
Yeah.
You know? I know in Dubai,
Okay.
you sweat your ass off.
Yeah.
You go eat a shawarma.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
different countries, different expectations, different cultures, different ways of working, different ways of playing sport. So even though I know it's the right move and it's something I've always wanted to take forward, you know, that's a business decision where I'm like, damn, like I will only do it, yes, if I have all the market research, but that also isn't enough. It's, do I have people there? Do I have I think first-hand experience for me in business calls is very
Crucial.
essential.
Yeah.
It's crucial, yeah, right? Have I had experience in that before? Like, you know, I can make a lot of business decisions with sports right now because I actively play 7 different sports every day of the week. I play with people who are 60. I play with people who are 40. I play with, you know, all ages just to understand how do they engage with the sport? How are they booking?
Interesting.
And once you know that, you're more likely to make a better business decision in that sense, rather than just be like, okay, I'm making this decision based just on emotion. I'm making this decision just based on my users. You know, it's a holistic outlook in that sense, because I don't think something should take a lot more weightage than the other.
You got to pick and choose what
makes sense for that specific decision.
Yeah, what takes precedence.
Different decisions need different.
Yeah, and Alex Hormozy, I was listening to him the other day, and he goes, sometimes the most critical decisions of your life, if they're personal, right? Yeah, sure, take it with heart.
Yeah,
right. But it's family related. You just know. You do not question that instinct.
Correct.
But business, though, it's a fine line. You want to have data and stuff, but sometimes your gut or your heart just knows. It just, like for me, leaving my job, I was like, I just knew I had to do it. Period. No question marks. Now, whether it turns out, whether it works out, I don't know. But I had to take that, and my gut was like, buddy, this, like you do very basic.
But are you
analysis,
telling me
right?
your gut pushed you over that edge?
My gut definitely did, 100%. Because and plus, like I had this preconceived notion that I was going to get out anyway.
Correct.
It was just a matter of what. So what that was.
When did you initially have these thoughts about?
Oh man, since beginning, since before joining KPMG. I think it was COVID. I knew I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what. And obviously, playing cricket, that was my only identity.
Yeah.
I had nothing. Played UAE, nearly got signed by Kent. Didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, sure. What next though? Okay. Masters, sure. Let's do it. Because I saved a year, no placement.
Yeah.
During COVID at Loughborough. Okay. Now what? Brexit. England's not ideal anymore. Let's move. Where? I don't know. Canada, sure. So then KPMG came about through after my business school. I was like, okay, this is one of the best jobs in the world.
Sure.
So to say. So why not start?
Yeah.
I'll figure it out then. Fair. So I did. And I worked my ass off to get into those positions.
Yeah.
Now,
were you fulfilled in those positions?
No way.
Yeah.
I knew that going in.
Yeah.
I knew that since the age of 20. So like 6 years ago.
So you knew what you were getting into, and you were like, okay, this is a path for me.
I said earlier, very, very selfish. I knew but I wanted to spend time whilst at KPMG to figure out what I wanted to do. Now, KPMG was a phenomenal time. Yeah, okay, it's corporate, fair enough. But I think I had to do it.
Sure.
I had to do it, right? To be able to do what I'm doing now, I had to go through it.
Okay.
But
I'm going to stop you there. Why do you think that you had to do it?
Because I didn't know anything.
What if you had a 4-year head start on...
but I feel like me developing these qualities, let's say as a podcast host, came from all the client board meetings that we used to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like these sudden demands that the clients used to just drop on us, and how you think on your feet. All of the, I had massive public speaking fear. Massive. I had a phobia. I remember when I first started at KPMG, we had to do this introduction thing.
Sure.
Oh my God, man. I remember my slide was up, one slide, cricket, this, that, traveling, funny accent, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was shitting myself. Yeah. And I was stuttering like every 5 words.
Yeah.
By the end of it, during my farewell speech, I stood up in the room as a podcast host and I decoded some wisdom, basically.
Yeah.
And people were, I don't know how people felt, but for me, I was like, there you go, buddy. You needed that.
So you're saying the differences between if you did a corporate...
No, it could have been anything. I had to do something in order to get here.
Gotcha.
So in this case, my mindset was, okay, Loughborough best, cricket best,
Sure.
Masters best,
Yeah.
job best. Now I'm ready. Now I'm
you're
ready for whatever. And I think
That's fair.
there's a very
That's a good path.
very big belief that I have.
Yeah.
You are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Period.
Fantastic,
like you
man.
are exactly where you're supposed to be.
You've conquered everything. Just the world left now.
Yeah, we're just here. We're supposed to be here playing golf with the birds at the background, with the phone over there, having all these mishaps of broken phones, dongles, I don't know.
Reconnecting since we were kids.
Mate, you know
Went
how
to
many
Loughborough.
people I've reconnected with through the podcast?
Yeah.
Chirag, right? Chirag Suri,
Yeah.
Shailene, one of my friends from high school at Cambridge.
Yep.
It's insane. And I've gotten Formula One drivers. I've gotten in touch with like big journalists, and doing this for a living. All I have to figure out is how to monetize this and stuff. But I'm not too worried because I'm so.
And you shouldn't
passionate
even
about
think
it,
about that.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just going to the flow. A lot of people are like, pick a niche, do this, do that, and I'm like, I just want this to be raw.
When
and
you do what you love,
bro.
everything will fall in place, and that's the best thing I can tell you.
All right.
It's all right.
I don't even know what take this is.
Yeah, we actually had a great conversation.
We're recording this ending again.
Yeah.
Purely because for some reason it only recorded 8 seconds of the previous.
That's fine. We go again, man.
We go.
We don't look down.
No,
keep going.
No, I just wrapped up. Great. Well, not great. Horrific round. good vibes.
Yeah, good
so
vibes.
Much to learn from your story, and it's wild. Like there's so much I didn't know.
Yeah,
there's so much I didn't know.
And I think vice versa as well, right? And like we've crossed paths so many times now.
Yeah.
Like playing cricket at a young age.
Each other for 10 years.
We've gone on tour together with 22 other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it takes a golf round to connect with someone again. I'll tell you that.
Love a good round of golf.
Yeah.
And this location is actually, you said it's the worst golf course in
Dubai. Pristine condition-ish, but I promise you, this is the worst club in all of Dubai.
And that's wild, because this is impeccable, I have to say.
Yeah. But you got Burj Khalifa views.
I mean, the views are good. Because what's the other one? That's Emirates Hills Golf. That's the one
AGC.
they use for... That is...
The Desert Cup. Oh my God.
That's a proper...
That's in pristine condition through and through.
So with the UAE, Dubai, what are your thoughts in terms of starting a business? Why do you think Dubai and the UAE are such a good place for starting a business right now?
Yeah.
And how do you differentiate it from, let's say, anywhere else?
Yeah, man. I think, again, I know we went over this, but like Dubai is the easiest place to start a business for anyone.
Yeah.
Not just me. I'm technically an expat, born and raised here. Technically, I have 26 years of residency. Still an expat, and it still took me 15 minutes to do. Right?
15 minutes to register a business.
15 minutes to register a business. And it's literally as simple as this. You're in a cafe ordering coffee and your token number comes. If you have all the right documents, you go tell them about your business. Say, have this documents. These are the partner documents. All right, all good. Let me feed this into the system. 5 minutes there. Go pay. 2 minutes to pay. Come back. Okay, everything's in line. Your follow-up receipt, everything. Okay, you get a link tomorrow and your trade license will be there. As easy as. So I honestly don't even know how it is in other countries, but this is now my expectation.
Yeah, usually it's like you have to go through. It's fair. In Canada, you can register a business through a bank.
Okay.
Through your bank.
Okay.
But again, it's a little bit tedious and whatnot, and it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Not 15 minutes. Though.
Yeah. And it's so like, look at the amount of startups that are here now. Look at the amount of businesses that are in Dubai right now. And look at the amount of people moving from all over the world, right? Like we mentioned, people from the UK are flooding Dubai,
Yeah.
People from all over the world. And, everyone used to call the US the land of opportunity. I think it's the UAE now, like with the amount of people coming through. Taxation reducing. I mean, corporate tax 9%, income tax 0%, 5% of that, like with the same quality of life, you can live in £50,000 in the UK. I promise you my quality of life here will be infinitely better, No,
and that's what I think we spoke on. The lifestyle here, is it a bubble or not, right?
Yeah. See, there's obviously two ways to look at it, right? I think I would want a bubble for my kids until a certain age. I would want, obviously, my family to follow the same path I have because, man, otherwise it's tough out here. If you're born and raised in Dubai and live in Dubai your whole life, you go outside to any country and you're like, shit, I got to take a train. Shit, I got to
where's my driver?
Yeah, where's my private chauffeur? Like, where is he?
Yeah.
Like, people aren't used to that. And, even though I know all my friends have lived their whole lives and they go to uni, and they struggle.
Yeah.
They struggle. Okay, luckily they're still funded by their parents. So, in central London, they were still taking Ubers, paying £50 just to go from point A to point B. But when you get out of that, you're like, shit, I got to take the bus. I got to find my way home. I got to be aware of my surroundings, and people aren't aware of the surroundings. And listen, I take it for granted.
Situational awareness is non-existent.
Yeah. And I take it for granted too. Like, I've been lucky to, spend 4 years in India where I've seen a ton of shit, man. Like, someone's broken my car window right in front of me, right? Obviously trying to rob me, steal me, whatever. So, that teaches you a lot, just being aware of your surroundings, knowing what situations to get into and what situations to definitely be out of, right? And obviously that lacks in Dubai, but man, it's just the safest city in the world. Like I told you, my car's unlocked right now. My house is unlocked right now. I have no tension in the world. And I would want my kids to be in that environment until a certain age. And then obviously see the hardships.
Yeah.
And I will put them through that regardless of how well off I am.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Like, I think when I moved to England, about this exposure of working in farms and like pubs and bars, and I was just like, whoa, people do, like, kids over there want to do that.
Yeah, life's.
I don't think kids want to do that here, right?
Yeah.
But that's fascinating. But
kids here want to show you their new bag or their new shoes.
LV, Gucci, Prada.
Yeah, it's just everywhere.
What do you think founders often misunderstand about doing business in Dubai or the UAE?
Yeah, it's a tough one in that sense. Like, I think everything's very smooth. The process is smooth. Doing business here is smooth. I think it's just more about being aware of your regulatory systems. Just being aware of the law. I think that's probably the biggest thing. People come from all over the world and just feel entitled, like, oh, I used to do this back at home. I can do that here if I'm running a business. And it's just not the same. It is essential to get an advisor here, or someone who's grown up here and knows how the business world works here. But yeah, like I said, I think touch wood for me, running a business here has been quick. It's been smooth. Renewing my license has been easy.
Raising capital?
I haven't raised capital from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've raised capital from abroad. Oh man, raising capital is a whole nother chat. We definitely need to get to. But yeah, I think just in terms like everything as a whole, it is easy to run a business here. As long as you have the right documents, right things, everything's smooth.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about registering stuff. Fair enough. Do you have any regrets?
About what?
In terms of we spoke about so much, right? Like, your parents, your current, I don't want to say financial situation or like, what do you call it? I don't even know. Your not well-being.
Yeah.
Like, going through the adversity, let's just call it that.
Sure.
All the adversity, loneliness, everything that you've been through, and now you're scaling this. You didn't take the corporate route.
Yeah.
You went all in this and stuff.
Yeah.
In this entire process, maybe sports-wise, like, is there something that you're like, maybe I could have done? Do you regret anything?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't question myself. And I'll still have days where I could question myself, especially very early on, right? When I was building the product, the tech team's not making things according to my plans, consumers are changing all around you. You do think, shit, man, maybe I should have just gone the corporate route. Maybe I should have just had a job.
How'd you deal with that? Not sense of regret, I guess. How'd you deal with that?
Again, man, we cover this where I was just like, that purpose, like, why did I start this? Why am I here? And obviously, I look back right now and I was like, sure, I'd go about doing my business differently in some certain ways. You know, I built my product too big in the sense where I try to build everything. I was like, okay, no, my consumers need to be able to book a course, need to be able to book a venue. You know, they need to be able to find other players. You know, they need to be able to find different communities in Dubai. And I'd say if I were to go back in time and change one thing, I'd build slower, build less features, but more confidently. Really
Master
go
that
hard.
Master it one piece by
Yeah,
piece.
okay, like, you know, simple things. So building all those features. Okay, how can you today, who's come to Dubai after so long, find people to play golf with?
Yeah.
How can I do that? Okay, let's take this one segment. Let's build around that. This is the problem. Let's build around that. Instead of having 10 problems, let's put one problem and find 10 solutions to that problem and see which one fits best. And now when I'm looking to expand to India, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to build a new product. Don't build too much too quickly. Build small, scale that big, and see within those 10 problems, what can you scale the biggest? Because I'm trying to fix 10 problems right now. And I found PMF in one. And now I know that's the one I'm going to double down. I am putting all my money into that. Right? But yeah, in terms of regret, in terms of my life, man, honestly, I'm grateful. Be it
Content.
good,
I
be
think
it
you mentioned
hard,
it before.
be it shit. I've seen a lot, and I want to see things I haven't seen. And honestly, there's not a lot left.
Yeah.
But man, I'm just so happy with who I am today and where I am today. And as many people as I have to thank, I kind of just like, I'm so happy I found a way to back myself, because that's actually what's gotten me through everything. You know, being like, shit, you got this. Shit, you can do it. You know, you have it in you. Like, call me narcissistic, call me very overconfident, self-confident, but like, I do think I'm
you almost
here
have to
prove a point.
Yeah, you got to be delusional.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
100%. Yeah,
I'm here to prove a point.
I believe that.
I'm here for a reason. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. Obviously, it takes time. Yeah. Maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But I think it'll be 2 years.
Good. Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with this one. What is your one rule to live a wise life?
One rule
that you follow.
A wise life. You know, this is pretty recent. And I actually never followed this method. There's two things, actually, manifestation and journaling. And I was always against it in some sense. I was like, not against it. I never got myself to get in the process of doing it. Over the last few months, every morning I wake up, I will do this, I won't do this, I will do this, I won't do this. And I was trying to make it based on today, every day, that it's based on today, so that I get myself to do it tomorrow. And that's helped me in habit building. That's helped me in just like running my business, you know, focusing on tasks, and just kind of being the best version of myself. And I just like, it kind of like hard coded my brain, and I didn't know what I was doing.
It's subconscious coding.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Like the things I've written down, even if I wanted to do that, my brain shuts it off like this. Like this.
Shuts it off.
Yeah, like let's say if I say, okay, I won't do this today.
That's it.
Right? Like Coca-Cola. Like I used to drink so much Coca-Cola every day. Like, I used to love that stuff, right? Literally, I won't drink Coca-Cola today. Right? We're out for a meal. See the menu, I see Coke. And I was like, I could. And then something in me just bang. No. And the first few times I was like, whoa, like, you know,
but
like
that's the neuroscience of manifestation.
Yeah.
It's scientifically proven that manifestation doing all of this is just coding your brain. Like you code a computer, you code a program.
Correct.
It's exactly doing the same thing. And I can go I could do a whole podcast.
Yeah.
I've done it already.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
Yeah. And I know people have different ways about doing it.
There are multiple
it's
ways.
Writing this up. But for me, honestly,
The baseline, yeah.
just write it in a book, write it in a diary. And I know people, have Notion and all these Google calendars.
No, writing is different. No, yeah, you're right. Putting pen to paper does something completely different because you're physically doing the thing, right? And what it happens is you're hard coding your brain. So James Doty, who's a neuroscientist, has a book called Mind Magic.
Yeah.
And he pretty much just goes into the neuroscience. And he says that it's essentially coding a brain. So when you write something down, it's just 4 steps. You write the thing, 5 steps. You have the intention, obviously.
Yeah.
2 is you write it down, pen to paper. 3 is you read it in your mind.
Yeah.
4 is you read it out loud.
Okay.
5 is you visualize it. Close your eyes and visualize it happening or that it's happened.
Sure.
And understand, try to feel what it would feel like when you've done it.
Yeah.
When it's complete. And all the tense you want to use is past tense. And it's happened already.
Fair.
And that's how this podcast came about. No joke. I can
That's
show you my
fantastic.
diary and
That's
my it's just
fantastic.
so yeah.
I didn't recognize
your
the
point,
power of it.
It is, and it's again like
Life changing.
people are like, oh, it's voodoo, but then if you think about coding a program, coding your brain, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect sense, at least in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
this
man,
has been such a blast,
it's
man.
been fantastic, man. I think the way I've got to know you today, we've spent so many years together, right? We've crossed paths so many times, whether it be playing cricket when we were 14 to Loughborough and to now. Like, what are the odds?
What are the odds, man? And that's the beauty of this, this podcast. And
yeah.
I'm reconnect with so many people, and it's giving me this opportunity, which I feel like I just deprived myself of.
Yeah.
Socially, professionally, personally.
Correct.
And now it's such a beautiful medium to connect, reconnect with newer people, older people.
Yeah.
Some of our own friends. But it's so amazing to see you crushing it with Rally. Yes, I did download it just yesterday.
Well, at least you came for the game today through it. That's all that matters.
I did surf through it and I checked it out. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. I love the concept.
Yeah.
I love to see where it goes. And I feel like knowing your story now, I'm pretty, I'd put money on you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty.
I put money on myself too.
There you go. That's all, man.
That's all that matters.
Bro, I appreciate you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Bro. And, we'll catch up soon again. It's been,
there you go. Akshat Dhawan.
Been fantastic.
Hey, you. Awesome job for getting to the end of the show. It really means the world when people actually get to the end of an episode because there's so much to learn, right? And I hope you have. If you have, chuck it in the comments below what you've learned, what you found interesting, controversial, love to engage with the audience. And if you are listening to this on Spotify, feel free to drop us a 5-star rating because, at the end of the day, that's what's going to drive traction for us. But, if you don't, that's okay. No problem. And if you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. There you go. Keeping it raw and authentic here right now. Do all of that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next episode.